Hey, I'm gonna give you an update on the corn. I just finished feeding, and blood meal, bone meal, and kelp meal is what I have given them today. These containers were pretty heavily amended before I set the transplants out, so hopefully this will focus and you guys can see. I just came in and basically broadcast a good 2 handfuls of each supplement into the containers. The corn has been in these containers now for about 2 weeks, and they've put on quite a bit of growth, as you can see. And because corn is such a heavy feeder, you really want to make sure that you're given enough nutrients to keep these guys green and ready to flower. Otherwise, you're not going to get a very good crop. Now these are 3 varieties that I have never grown, so it's kind of an experiment for me. But I've done this process before with other corn and had no problem. These containers are growing a lot of plants, so you can't expect this corn, being such a heavy feeder, to deplete these containers pretty quickly as it's growing. These things are putting on, gosh, almost a foot of growth a week. So they're in a hurry to get to blooming and producing. So just feed them, just feed them. Inside this container, this one is the Bilicious corn, and it is growing with Kentucky Wonder pole beans. So see those guys there. The next container, I cannot see from this side. I should have gone the other way. This one is the Helda Romano pole bean, and what corn is it? I don't know what corn this is. I think this one is the, what does that say? I can't see. I believe that's the Painted Hill. So this one got the same treatment as the other 2 with the bone meal, kelp meal, and blood meal. And the last container here is candy corn and the Christmas lima bean. Now the ones here kind of get beat up quite a bit by the birds. They like to hop around in here, and also it's very windy and they have no protection from the wind. So I did come in and pop in these little trellises from Dollar Tree just to kind of give them a little bit more support as they grow. The bigger they get, the more root development they have, and they'll actually stand up on their own. If it gets too windy, they will still fall over, but I want to keep them as straight as possible at this age. But yeah, these are doing pretty good. The birds are wanting to feed, and they're coming to their feeders, which are empty. I guess they think because I'm out here, they're getting fed. I should probably fill those up for them. But yeah, that's the update on the corn, what it's doing. I mean, I don't know how to show you guys how big this is, but I mean, this is beyond my forearm in height. I'll come out here and I'll actually measure them one day and give you a real update on how tall they are. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the corn since I did come out and give it a feed. I'll show you from this side. You can see a few of them in the same frame. Actually can get all 3 in the same frame. Look at that. So that's what's going on, guys. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me while I checked on the corn and got it all fertilized. I will do this process every 2 weeks until I harvest, just to make sure that this corn gives me a harvest. The beans that are growing with them will fix nitrogen into the containers, but it's not going to do a whole lot for them while they're growing. That process happens as the beans mature and die back. So until then, guys, I will see you in another video. Probably going to work a little bit more out here, work on some mulching, get some things watered and trimmed, and I'll try to record that for you as well. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, guys.